All right, welcome everyone to today's live stream here at Tradeify Crypto. We got some exciting movements in the markets right now. We have a Bitcoin once again breaking above that 80K region. And Ayush, I sent in our private group. I sent looks like a good retest here for Bitcoin, and it does look like we are currently hitting that level between 80.4 and 80.6. Looks really good here on the 1 hour. Looking at the 50-minute as well. Good
Yeah.
reaction to that level. So what are we thinking here? Are we thinking that we're going to get a continuation to the upside here?
So yeah, I'm like looking for continuation only. And also, if you look at Ethereum, I think we are taking support at the weekly level, which is acting as higher time frame support for us on Ethereum. That's why we are getting the same reaction on Bitcoin. Also, we have same key levels marked here. So once we get some, closure about the SWIX, and same idea on Ethereum, about this 4 hour wick, and I think we are going to go higher and expecting good volume on the next 4 hour opening, which is at 8 a.m. So after I think 1 hour, we'll get the confirmation for continuation and expecting price to reach around 82,000 after this area. And also, if we manage to get a good volume candle on 4 hours, something like this, on Ethereum, then it will be good for us to leave this range after many weeks, I mean days. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at. And if we look at Doge, it is still in range, but I feel it will fill the previous daily candle wick. Let's look at 15 minutes. Okay, let's look at weekly time frame here, and I'm still looking for this target on Doge, but I don't know how, I don't know why, but it didn't perform well yesterday. It did took the previous range high, but after that we can see that it came back into the range, but we are not really bullish on Doge. Still trying to break out of the range, but I think today we have BTC is the only good pair for longs.
Yeah, I like that. You when you're analyzing the market, you're looking a lot on the correlation, or can you break that down when you're looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin? How can you just break that down? I would like to understand that more.
Yeah. So what I always see is that.
And sorry for interrupting you, but before we go on here, guys, we're gonna do giveaways today, right? So the first giveaway is gonna be initiated at 10 likes, the second one at 20 likes, and the third one at 30 likes. So if we hit 30 likes during today's live stream, that means we're gonna be giving away 3 accounts, and all of these giveaways, they're gonna be done with a duck race. We all love that duck race, so yeah. Get ready for some duck racing action. So make sure that if you're watching this, hit that like. And if you haven't subscribed already, of course you're subscribed. So you don't have to do that because you're already subscribed. But hit the like. You should definitely do that.
So yeah, and yesterday we didn't did any giveaway. So today we are going to do 3 giveaways if we manage to hit the target. So
Because
coming back
yesterday we
to
had a
charts.
target and we didn't hit that target yesterday. By the way, before you go, you can see behind me, it's dark. I don't have my usual lighting behind me because I bought a new light because mine broke, and it's pretty cool because when I speak, look at this. It's like flashing when I speak.
Yeah,
When
that's
I'm
very cool.
when I'm quiet, it stops flashing. Hello? It's amazing. The technology today, man. Amazing.
What happens when you scream? It will show all the colors.
When it screams, it just goes red.
So we'll scream and we hit the surplus.
Yeah, so maybe I'm gonna build this light in the live stream today. Probably not, but I really want to, so maybe I will. But yeah, let's break it down, Ayush. Let's see what you're working with here.
Okay, so if we talk about the correlation of Ethereum and Bitcoin, when I was trading, as I started trading crypto, I was just using Ethereum and Bitcoin. I just normal pairs. I was not really looking into it. But when I started seeing reaction, sometimes when I see that, like you guys can see that I have marked this support level, and instead it's just starting. It just went without tapping it. But we had this weekly level, which is previous candle wick, this red candle wick, which is acting as support. So I use opening and closing of higher time frame candle as supply and demand zone. That's the easiest way to mark it, and you guys will get to know more about it in my upcoming video on Tradeify Crypto channel, when which you will be able to use this very easily. So we are giving away a lot of things, not only accounts. So yeah, so you guys can see that we are getting a reaction from this weekly level, and price is not really looking. It's not really looking good for bears to go below. So expecting that even when the key level is not tapped in Bitcoin, it did on Ethereum, expecting that it is a good support of Ethereum getting reaction on Bitcoin. And I know that Ethereum is an altcoin. It's not a major pair. It is not strong as Bitcoin, but it's very funny and to say that when we see Ethereum in some supply or demand zone, it also affects Bitcoin. So as in all streams, and we can see that yesterday we got support at same level, which is this blue line. Nothing. It's just opening of the weekly candle, and we tap. You guys can see the same reaction on both pairs, right? We are getting support at the wick. So I use opening and closing price as supply and demand. And if I break down with a diagram, as Jonathan explained yesterday, we have same kind of structure on 4 hour I was looking at before the stream. Let me take a look at on 1 hour or maybe on 4 hour. So yeah, let me give you guys some idea that how I use wicks. So before the okay, so it's the opening first candle of the Monday, and you guys can see that whenever we tap at certain area, it becomes weaker, and price will try to break above. And so now before this green candle, before the week open, I was treating this area as a very strong supply zone. But when we broke above, price tapped, like the opening was really aggressive. As Jonathan said yesterday, whenever we get a breakout above any zone, and price instead comes, instead of ranging, it should form a range here, indicating that this zone is really strong. But instead we saw a really big bear candle. It was not because of uh, like the technical thing. It was because of some fake news. But after that we recovered pretty well from the area which is just wick, and on Ethereum we had same area. Now it is not always important to have same key levels on both the pairs. So like you can have 4 hour wick on Bitcoin, and you can have daily candle wick on Ethereum. It is not going to be same always. And let me apply my template. I don't know why my high time frame candle is not really showing the. Okay, so now you guys can see that yesterday when we opened, it tapped in the same support level of the wick, right? And now we are just trying to manage the price above. This is previous weekly candle wick, which acts as support. And in order to go lower, what I want is just break below, give us some retest in the same wick, and continue lower. Instead of that, we are taking support in that area. And same idea I have on 1 hour. Okay, let me close the replay tool. Now we are back on the live market. So yeah, same. You guys can see on weekly time frame. If I go on 4 hour, we'll have weekly candle. And yeah, so you guys can see this previous weekly candle is acting as support on 4 hour. That's why we got reaction before we hit the support zone on Bitcoin. So I combine the higher time frame and lower time frame key levels on both the pairs, and never force my bias if it's not coming towards my supply or demand zone. Instead, I look at Ethereum if we have something to look at. And as we can see that Bitcoin is out of this range, right? We were in like very slow market from last 2-3 days, and we are out of it. But I feel Ethereum must come out this range in order to get some good bull volume on Bitcoin. So I feel even after we come out of this range, we have 1, 2, and 3 supply zones with wicks of 4 hour, which can give us some pullbacks on Bitcoin. So yeah, I'm really when I think Ethereum will be out of this range, I think we'll have many trades coming in on both the pairs. And like the strength and I call it strength and weakness. Like if I see Ethereum is good for shorts, I'll take shorts because it failed to create a higher high. You guys can see Bitcoin closed above previous swing high, but Ethereum is not. So I feel if we go in downtrend, Ethereum is a pair which is good for shorts, and Bitcoin is a pair which is good for longs because it is strong. But from last many days, or I can say weeks, we can see Ethereum being showing only weakness. So whenever I see this kind of formation in market, it indicates that we are in very slow or very rangy market. But when we are in a very good market, the conditions are really fine. The strength and weakness keeps on changing. Like it will change twice or thrice in a day. As an intraday trader, I have seen many times when we are in a very good trend, it can be bearish trend, it can be bullish trend. The strength and weakness between Ethereum and Bitcoin keeps on changing. But for last 2 weeks, it is same. Bitcoin is stronger and Ethereum is not stronger. So maximum number of trades I am placing on Bitcoin only.
And maybe Roman can switch over to my screen, because one thing I'm looking at here also when we're looking at the correlation between, or the behavior between Bitcoin and Ethereum, is that we can see that there's a clear lag. If I find my chart layout here, I have one which is supposed to be called, let's see, open layout, and I have one called clean. I usually have this one when I want a completely clean chart and show some things. Let's see if we can load here. What's not loading? Now it's loading. Okay, so let's first add Bitcoin, and then we can have a split view here between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I actually think this is Ethereum and that one is Bitcoin. Yeah. Let's get rid of these. Actually, this is something that we talked about in this live stream, right? Where Bitcoin might hit that first blue line, which would be that TP. So Bitcoin would probably hit that blue line. And then if it hits that blue line, Ethereum should logically start to follow, because really what we're seeing here is one down move, one up, one down move, rounded bottom, up move. We got the same down move, the same up move, the same down move, the same type of rounded motion, but we're lacking the move from here to here. And we already have filled that gap, if you will, on Bitcoin. So the question here is of course going to be, will Ethereum catch up to Bitcoin? Now, we've seen in the past, and especially this last cycle, that Ethereum have been lagging behind a bit, but not on the lower time frame. So what I'm thinking here, if you look at the 4 hour, we have a clean structure right here, and the correlation is almost perfect up until, I mean, we can look at this from a horizontal resistance point of view. So that's when that level got broken on Ethereum. And that's when this level was broken on Bitcoin. And it happened around the same time. So it happened right on the same time. So right there for Bitcoin on the 14th of April. And then on the 14th of April, the same thing happened for Ethereum. So the correlation between Ethereum and Bitcoin has been very, very high in this range. But then something happened on the actual breakout for Bitcoin. And what I'm also thinking here is the fact that once Bitcoin starts to move, capital will flow. You have capital rotation within the crypto market, right? So capital can flow from altcoins into into Bitcoin. When Bitcoin is ranging, that gives the altcoins opportunity to start moving, because then money can flow out from Bitcoin into altcoins, right? And I think this is a case of that, where Bitcoin is actually showing that I have now broken a significant level, and market participants are ready to ride the wave of Bitcoin by taking out potential investments and holdings within the altcoin market, which is Ethereum down here. So we might see this as a reason for capital rotation. So the question is then, will capital then rotate from Bitcoin into altcoins again? Or will, the people that bought here, will they take profit and then go back to the altcoin positions? And if that happens, then Ethereum should follow. So if we're looking at Bitcoin here, let me switch to Bitcoin. Now, I do believe that now we have broken above that 80K resistance. Let me add volume here as well. We do see that we have a small volume spike right here on yesterday's daily candle, but nothing major. I mean, if we compare it to what happened here, when we had a fake out, it's nothing. And the accumulation distribution indicator has still not broken out. So maybe we're just going to have a small move to the upside here, right? But if it happens, we get like a slow move to the upside, I think Ethereum should follow. And we might look at potential confirmation of where that might happen. So one thing we can do is a tool that I really like is the linear regression channel. And it's that one right here. We add that. Then if I go in and I want to know what this range looks like. So we're going to do 50. Let's do 100. We're going to add that so that it encapsulates the time from where the correlation between Bitcoin and Ethereum broke, which I believe is somewhere within this region. So this is the linear regression channel. Basically what it does is the red line is a best fit line. So it takes all the prices within this section and then it tries to find the mathematical best fit line through this. And then it adds a 2 standard deviation above and below. So we know that if Ethereum is going to continue trading within this range, the highest likelihood of seeing a rejection happens around the second standard deviation, right? And if we get a break above that second standard deviation with a price structure above it, I think the likelihood of seeing upwards continuation for Ethereum is relatively high. And if we add a horizontal level right here, you can see that that is really where we want that breakout to happen. So get out of the channel, create some type of structure above that level. And if that happens, maybe we can then catch up to Bitcoin. And what I mean by catching up is basically coming up and testing the level at around 2,630. So there's a gap here. where I think we might have a potential like 7 to 10% move on Ethereum. So that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum.
I mean, like same idea for that, and also we need to break above this zone. And if I'm currently looking at my MMT charts and can see something new popping up. Wait, let me. So yeah, so if you guys can see, like I said, I use wicks as supply and demand zones. Why? There is a reason, because somehow, I don't know why, but always I see at wicks there will be some value area high or low, or we'll have some limit orders placed. You guys can see we have some limit order for sellers at 2400. I'm not saying that we are going to react and it's gonna dump. We might absorb those limit orders, but if we look at the value area high, you will always find it near the wicks, and previously as well, same as value area low at the wicks. So swing high lows are really important, even if you are not using volume profile, even if you are not using MMT charts. Just make sure that your levels are combined with something actually which makes sense. So you don't have to learn a different or separate way to mark supply demand zones, because I came across volume profile after I learned marking wicks and correlation. It was not like I learned about the volume profile first, the MMT charts, and then I got to know about the candlesticks. No. So if you are good at watching candlesticks, and if you are good at understanding just Japanese candlesticks first, then you can move on to add some extra confluence to your chart. So if we look at Bitcoin here, we are actually above the monthly point TPO, point of control, and value area high, indicating that we are very strong. Bulls are really taking over, and we also have inefficiency at 79,500. So I will not be surprised if we get some retrace, but for that we need Ethereum to do something else. Okay, let me turn off this TPO and we'll talk more about the bubbles which you guys can see on my chart. So okay, let me go on lower time frame on 15-minute. So if you guys can see on Bitcoin right now we are not able to go higher. Let me go back to my trading view chart, because we have similar key area on Ethereum as well. So I want this thing to pump higher, then only we'll see 82,000 today on 1 hour time frame. But I feel we might slow down a bit, take some retrace, and continue the trend again. And if we talk about Doge, very clear idea on Doge. On daily time frame, we just have previous candle wick, and we are also above the supply zone, which is at, well, let me mark it out. Wait, I have to add this. Okay, so at 0.1108 we had these supply zone, but now we are above it. So I think we are good to go bullish again on Doge. But in order to get some volume, we need Bitcoin and Ethereum to do something great for us today to go much higher. But not always. I've seen when Ethereum and Bitcoin is not doing anything, but you will see good bullish candle on 4 hour on Doge. So I'm not saying always, but sometimes Doge does its own thing. Like if we are above, let's say price goes above the supply zone, give us a retest, and we continue moving higher. And let's take it as we are still ranging in Bitcoin, but it does not really matter. Sometimes you will see it will reach the target if there is nothing to do for Doge. And let's take a look at gold. So we talked about yesterday that I'm looking at this daily supply zone on gold, but one thing I can see is we took out the previous month low on gold, which is obviously a very strong level for buyers. So that's why we're getting the reaction. And if we close above this supply zone, I think we can go much higher till 4600.07. And if you look at 4 hour, you can see consistent 3 green candles in the supply zone. Price is really holding well in this supply zone. If we get some reaction on 15-minute on PAX-G, something like this confirmation, then I think we are good to go shorts.
Yeah,
because I'm not convinced that we are in bullish market, because the pullback is really slow and also in range. But on the other side, you can see this bear movement, which is actual trend we have right here. So I'm not really looking for longs on gold, but more for shorts. So yeah, back to Bitcoin. We are moving up, and I think good for longs today. I think we might get some setups on stream.
Yeah. So let me ask you some questions. How many trades do you take on average in a week or a month? How would you describe yourself when it comes to being a day trader, a scalper, or a swing trader?
So I'm mainly scalper on lower time frame. And if we talk about number of trades, I trade every single day. So it's like 1 trade a day on crypto. And if we talk about futures, I scalp there on 1 minute time frame. So I take at least 2 to 3 trades after the NY open on lower time frame to get some quick dollars there. And if you talk about Forex, I like to take swing trades on Forex, because the price action and everything is really smooth. And I think it's the best. If we talk about being really comfortable as a technical trader, Forex is something which I can look for swing. And second, I'll put for intraday and scalping crypto. And the last, I'll put futures for scalping on lower time frames. So if I talk about my trade durations on futures, only about 1 or 2 minutes every single trade. And if you talk about crypto, they are near 15 or 1 hour long, not further than that. Because I trade neutral risk to reward. If I am risking $500, I'll look for 500 gain on my trade. I never trade more than that. I'm happy with 1:1.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right, so we have 10 likes right now, guys. So we're gonna do a giveaway soon, and if we can get that like number up to 20, then we're gonna do another giveaway. And if we can get that like number even up to 30, we're gonna do a third account giveaway. And guys, we have a couple of people watching right now. We do have some people watching, and in the comment section, make sure that if you have any questions for us here, remember that we've been trading for many years. Myself, I've been trading for 10 years in the crypto markets, and pretty much any type of trading except futures and options, right? So if you have any questions on anything in terms of crypto trading or trading psychology or anything like that, just let us know, guys. We are here to help you out and make sure that we can make your path to funding as smooth as possible. We have a question here from Peter. Let me just increase the text size here so I can actually see the question. So the question is, which cryptocurrency or altcoins have strong correlation with traditional assets like gold or currencies? For example, gold-backed tokens such as Pax Gold. So the gold-backed token Pax G is obviously it's just following the price of gold, basically, right? So when we talk about the correlation between cryptocurrencies and traditional assets, Bitcoin has a fairly high correlation with Nasdaq. A historic correlation with Nasdaq is fairly high, and we can go to this chart, and I can show you. You know what? I'm actually gonna copy this layout right here and name it BTC versus Ethereum, just so I have that saved. And then we can go back to the clean one, and we are going to be cleaning this up right here. So what we can do is we have Bitcoin here. I like to always have that one in orange like that. And then we can add Nasdaq. Let's just add a there's a NAS 100 or US 100. Let's just use a spot. It's an index, a CFD index here, and let's make that. We can make that white, and then we'll have it a little bit bigger. Okay. So these two markets right here is the Nasdaq and Bitcoin. Let's go to the 1 hour. I think the 50-minute is probably best. And you can see that there is sometimes they are highly correlated, like within this period right here, where you have that topping formation and then that topping formation here. You have, a down move here on Nasdaq, down move on Bitcoin. So I think the correlation is like 0.8 or something like that between Nasdaq and Bitcoin. But what's happening lately is that Bitcoin is much more correlated to Nasdaq to the downside than what it is to the upside. And there's a very simple explanation for that, right? The Nasdaq is a risk asset and Bitcoin is a risk asset as well. So risk assets, obviously that's financial assets that you invest in when the economy is going well and you have high conviction in the economy and you have money to spend. And when you spend that money on risk assets or riskier investments, and that's obviously mostly why these markets are correlated. When it comes to altcoins, I would say that the altcoin market, you can't really look at correlation between the altcoin market and traditional finance. What you have to do is you have to look at correlation between altcoins and Bitcoin, and then look at Bitcoin's correlation to the traditional finance. We have someone, Bitcoin still in downtrend, just engineering some liquidity. Yeah. So, these terms like liquidity grabs and engineering liquidity and things like that, I mean, I don't really think they make a lot of sense, but if they make sense on the lower time frames. On the higher time frames, when you zoom out and you look at the markets from the higher time frames, what you see is the raw forces of supply and demand and sentiment and human psychology. That's what happens on the higher time frames, right? On the lower time frames, you'll see a lot of noise. You'll see a lot of stop hunts and wicks and liquidity grabs, if you will. But on the higher time frames, it's all about the macro forces and the psychology behind investing that drives these cycles. Right, do we have another question? Let me know, guys, if you do have any other question. Thank you so much, my Kenfo, saying that you guys are awesome, very, very advanced at trading. I don't know about that, but yeah, we are awesome.
So Jonathan, I think
All right.
before they ask questions on chat, I have a question for you. And we had the same question on live before when you were not with us. I think last week, someone asked that how do you guys manage your work-life balance as a trader? And this is something I want to know from you, because as like you are very like senior than my age, so how do you manage your work, family, and your your time in markets? Because sometimes I messed up.
Oh, go ahead. You were going to say something there at the end.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, so I think it's a really good question, because I think to be a trader, it's and you guys in the comment section, if you've been doing this for a couple of years, you know that it kind of becomes almost like a lifestyle, right? You're always thinking about the markets. If you see a news event happening or a geopolitical event, you kind of think about, okay, what effect is that going to have on the market? And if it happens on a weekend, you might think like, okay, what is the Monday market open that candle going to look like? Are we going to get a gap? Like, so when you start trading and you're kind of getting into it, it becomes sort of a lifestyle, and it becomes integrated into your life. So it's important that you integrate it into your life with as little friction as possible, because we got to remember that trading is most likely the most difficult thing that you're ever going to try to master. So you have to make sure that it's done with as little friction as possible. So for me, for example, I'm just not a full-time trader. I'm just, like, all I do is not looking at the screens. I'm also, the manager of this whole YouTube live stream and the content creation here at Tradeify Crypto, which is also a full-time role in of itself. So the actual time that I spent, and also I'm studying for CMT, which is a couple of hours every day, is reading and studying technical analysis. So the actual time that I have for looking at price and looking at the charts might be, outside of the actual content creation and the research, probably 20-30 minutes per day. So within those 20-30 minutes per day, I can't be a day trader, because I can't really make any significant decisions in trading in 20 to 30 days. But I can be a swing trader based on the daily, because if you're a swing trader and you're basing your decisions on the daily time frame, you only really need to watch whatever market you're trading once a day, right? Then that's after the daily candle has closed. So I trade, the crypto market, I trade indices, and I trade Forex, and I trade using a swing trading strategy where I can take an example on Bitcoin. My next big trade on Bitcoin will most likely be a short within this area. Somewhere within this area, I am going to look for a short on Bitcoin. And it might look like price coming up here, spiking down and then doing this. And then I will enter a short here. Stop loss above here. I will have a short here. And then I'm going to keep this position open for as long as the bear market is active. I'm currently in a passive short position on Bitcoin, which means I held Bitcoin from 20K up to 100K. And then when we hit the 100K, I got out of the market and I haven't entered again. So, I got kids, I got family and all of that, right? And, a house and a garden to take care of, So in my life, it's very important that I trade in a way where I integrate trading into my life in a frictionless way, where I can do everything else I'm working with and still trade professionally. And for me, that is swing trading, right? And it's also from a psychological point of view. If I'm scalping, I need to think fast and I need to make many decisions, and I'm prone to over trading, and I'm prone to making trading decisions based on emotions. So I need I need a long time till when I see a setup and I decide to take that trade, there needs to be enough time for me to figure out my emotions before I enter the trade. If I'm scalping, I'm just gonna get into a trade because I get a rush of adrenaline, right? Or I see that I might make a lot of money on this trade, so I'm taking the trade because I'm getting a dopamine kick of the idea of making a lot of money on the trade. And then after I enter the trade, I recognize that, okay, this is a bad trade, I should exit. So I think that's how I done it, you know. I balance, you know, the trading work and life by making sure that I pick the trading style that fits my personality and my life situation.
So yeah, I mean, I feel as a 24-year-old, I am a scalper. I think after some years I might become a swing trader as well, when my routine and everything will change.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about time, isn't it? It's like I talked to my 15-year-old, and he's like, you know, he goes to the gym and he meets friends and he does all of these things, right? And when you're at that age, maybe you're 20, 25, you don't have a family yet. When you're at that age, you have so much more time. Like, for those of you watching, if you're young and you don't have a family, like, you have no idea what the amount of time that you have, you know? Because once you start a family and you got kids to take care of and everything that comes with that, your time is going to be very limited, right? So I would recommend that if you're at that age right now and you're really serious about trading and you feel like you have the personality to be a day trader or be a scalper, I would highly recommend that you try to master it, because day traders and scalpers, if done right, if they're at the same level of skill as a swing trader, they're always going to be making more money. You will always make more money as a scalper and as a day trader if you have the same skill as if you would be swing trading, because it's simply about the number of trades, right? If you're a swing trader, you might take 2 trades a week. If you're a day trader, you might take 2 trades a day. And if you have the same statistics, the same win rate and average winner and risk to reward, you're going to make much more money. The issue, though, is that from what I've seen also working with different prop firms and actually looking at the numbers of people being profitable, there is a far greater number of swing traders being profitable than day traders. And it's simply because day traders are and scalpers that trading the lower time frames, there's a lot of noise and there's a lot of decisions to be made and there's a lot of emotions that you have to control. But yeah, it's if I had the time to just sit 4 to 5 hours just behind the charts without doing any live streaming or anything like that, I would probably be more of a day trader, but I don't think it's doable today.
Yeah, makes sense. So I think we have to, people who are under 25, we have to prepare for something which Jonatan has right now. I was not aware about it. Mm-hmm.
Also, there's this idea of what is it called? The utility of gains, right? The utility of making money in the markets is when you're younger. The more the more risk you take on and the more money you make, the utility of making money increases. But when you're older, you start thinking more about the future and more about the safety of your investments, and you start thinking about the money that you actually keep, and you start pivoting where you have a ceiling where the utility becomes kind of flats out. So the more money you make at a certain level, you will not get the same satisfaction from that money, and you will then become more risk averse, because if you have $1 million, making 5% is great, right? You're going to be happy about making 5%, but losing 5% of $1 million is going to hurt you much more. But if you're at $1,000 and you make 5%, it's you don't really care about that, right? And if you lose 5%, it's nothing, so the more money you have, and the more risk averse you become with age as well. So I think it's just a natural progression in life. And as a trader, you start young, you add risk because you can afford to take more risk, and you gravitate more towards day trading. But the more professional you become, you start thinking about the fact that capital preservation is the only thing that will keep you afloat and have you stay alive in the markets long term.
Yeah, I mean, for now we are just building buffer on our accounts, and after some years we have to build buffer on our bank accounts if we keep it in the right way.
Yeah, that is right. What about you, Ayush? Are you you're also obviously you're working here for Tradeify Crypto as well and doing these live streams, but what would you say, like, how many hours a day do you spend on actual trading?
Only 2 to 3 hours after I'm done streaming. So I usually look at crypto market and futures, that's all. And if we talk about how my morning starts, it's with some book reading, exercising, and so yeah, as you said, I have a lot of time to explore, and I have still many hours in a day where I can learn new skills. So I'm utilizing it for my betterment, and I know that soon or later I will lose all of this privilege I have, because I don't really have to take care of cooking food or taking care of
Nice.
things which I mean everyone does, because I live with my parents. So I think I have good time to learn new things as a trader. So I'm blessed. So not really.
Yeah, but man, like how old are you?
I'm 23, soon to be 24 in few months.
And how long have you been trading? You started pretty young, I believe.
Yeah, I started when I was in high school in 2019, before COVID.
Nice. Well, the thing is, like, you're already starting. Like when I was, I started trading when I was 25, and before 25, I'd like to say that trading was my first proper job, right? I didn't really have any didn't have any significant income at all before trading. I didn't really do much with my life at all. It was just a mess, right? So the fact that you're starting young and you're already where you are right now, I'm a live streaming host for Tradeify Crypto, trading, pretty much full time. You're already ahead of, you're light years ahead of the competition at this point.
But I still feel that I'm behind, because there are some decisions I made while trading. I've spent a lot of time in a gray zone when I was like 20 or 21, because I did affiliate marketing as well. I made good amount of money there as well. But if instead of that, I could have started focusing more on trading, because when I started in 2019, I was not really a full-time learner. I used to give only 2 to 3 hours, because I had Shopify stores running, orders coming in, and had to manage those as well, studies as well. So I think instead of doing all of that, I could have give it more hours and would be a different scene today. But yeah, whatever I have right now, I'm really happy with that. Just being grateful for everything.
Yeah, I mean, you said like you made some bad decisions at the beginning, but that's what it is. It's better. It's better to start slow, make bad decisions in the beginning, than keep at it for a couple of years and then realize these things by making mistakes. I mean, making mistakes is just part of trading as much as it is part of life. I'd like to say that it's a mistake only becomes a failure when you don't really learn from it, right? And I think it's the same in trading. I mean, all of you watching, you've been in a situation where I don't know if you guys are using a trade journal today, but if you're not using a trade journal, you should definitely do that. It doesn't have to be a web app. It could just be a pen and paper, because what I'm mostly interested in when it comes to trade journal is your mental state of mind when you're entering the trade, when you're in the position, and then when you're exiting the trade. That is going to help you. That is going to help you quite a lot. And I know that a lot of people watching this, probably all of you've took a trade, and then you feel like, okay, that was a bad decision. I shouldn't have taken that trade. And then a couple of days go by and you make the same mistake, right? And a couple of days go by and you make that same mistake once again. And you keep cursing yourself, saying like, how can I keep repeating and making these mistakes over and over again? And most likely it's because you have not, dig deep enough into your emotions and your reactions to those emotions when trading. And then what you want to do is you want to build a rule-based structure around that. And if you can do that early, I think that's going to really help you a lot. I'd say it takes probably, for most people, it can take 6 months to a year just to understand that whole psychology game. But I know traders that have it took them like many years to really understand that. So Ayush, do you have any like when it comes to trading psychology, do you have any rules that help you with that?
So yeah, I'm ready with my example. So I have two journals you guys can see on the screen. One is
Nice.
red and one is white. So in the red one, what I do is write things which makes me lose temper, or I have seen some setups in market always losing money. So I write bad things in this book and write good things in this book. So whenever I'm losing, or if I'm in a winning streak, I read good things which I use in market to keep myself motivated. And if I'm in a winning streak, to be on ground, I use this red book to understand that, okay, we still have some things coming up, and keeping in mind that there are some mistakes which I can make in future to make myself humble. When I'm in green streaks, I use the red book to understand that green streak and red streaks are just a game. I just have to maintain my emotions. So this is how I practice, and I think I learned this from a YouTube video during COVID, and it's really helping me out. So instead of using Notion or any digital thing for journaling, pen and paper can really change your trading journey. This is what I believe.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's really amazing, the idea of just being able to write down your thoughts and really kind of review it, because it's also interesting, we sometimes, when I'm writing in the journal and I take a trade and I make a mistake and I write something like, oh, I can't believe I did that again, and I start seeing how I kind of go into this, and I spiral down a path of negative emotions. And then when you read that, like the week after you're reading that, and you're like, you've forgotten all about that, right? So something that in the very moment feels very bad, like a week later you have no idea that it actually happened, right? So it's just this mental exercise as well, that something can feel really bad in the moment, but it's not really that bad, because you're just going to forget about it. after a while. All right, guys. So we do have 16 likes right now. So we're coming up to getting close to that 20 likes. So I'm gonna wait a little bit more to see if we can hit that 20 likes. We're now up to 17. So we only need 3 likes more to do 2 accounts. So as soon as we hit 20 likes, I will activate the giveaway and do 2 accounts, and then we'll see if we can do 30 likes after that. Guys, any questions, anything you want us to cover, let us know. We have someone saying scalping is mostly for the futures market. I think one positive thing about the futures market and scalping is definitely the fact that there's no commissions, right? And then you also have that maintenance period where you kind of have to close the trades. So it definitely fits better for intraday traders as well. Garrett Trade says, why was the May competition postponed? I don't have an answer to that. I need to look it up with the team, but I think they're probably preparing some technicals on that. But I don't have the status on that right now. So, but I can check with the team and let you know. Okay, so let me go through the model list I have here. If we have any interesting altcoins, I want to update you guys on what I'm watching right here. So XLM, the trade is closed. I think we can go in and hide that one. Okay, so I'm going to be moving XLM down to the second list. We got RSR. This one now is actually potentially interesting for a long trade if we break out. It's I think we have to differentiate between an actual accumulation range and a range that's just a correlation to Bitcoin. You know, because if Bitcoin has just been ranging, then altcoins might just be also ranging. There's a difference between an altcoin that is just moving with moving with Bitcoin, than actual proper accumulation. Let's look at the volume here. Not getting anything out of the ordinary, but I actually like this for potential long. So I'm going to put a alert up here. We got ENG. This is a short that unfortunately I got stopped out on this one. You can see that wick right there. That was a breakout on Bitcoin. We got stopped out on that one right there. I'm still keeping this on the list because I believe it has potential for potential longs down in this region. So we got an alert right here. I think that should be down here on the log scale comp. Sure about that one. JTO has broken out now. So what I'm thinking here is we might have something like this up here. So that is also interesting for a potential long. And we got hype. This is insanely bullish. Yeah, this one is probably going to come up and test that 50 area. TRX is also one extremely bullish altcoins hitting that range EQ right now. So I'm going to be keeping that on the list. I'm actually going to be moving hype and TRX up to the first list. So the way I structure this is I add every altcoin that I find interesting. I add to the pink list here. And then this list has 2 different sections, with the top one being the ones where I can see a setup forming. And then the lower one is things that I'm monitoring. Tau, definitely interesting for short. Zcash is very, very strong, but not really sure exactly what the setup would look like. Probably down to that level, maybe up here. So I'm going to be putting on an alert right here. Algo. Yeah, I mean, Algo I definitely like for potential breakout here. So we're going to put a price level here. ARB, I'm going to remove ARB for now. ENA, I'm going to remove that one as well. This one, I'm putting an alert down here for potential long. And then we have that XLM again. All right, looks like we hit that 20 likes. So let's do a giveaway. We also have a question before we do that. How do you choose which altcoin is going to give more volatility? Any days or any tool for it? No, there's no tool to show you if there's going to be volatility on an altcoin. I mean, you can look at potentially, you know, if an altcoin is entering a range in a consolidation and you see volume, you know, after a downtrend, volume kind of picks up on the within that range, and you see on the blockchain, you can see that that altcoin has had a lot of large buyers, maybe whale buyers buying within that consolidation. Then you can kind of think that it might break out of that range because now the smart money has entered. But yeah, we do have a giveaway coming up here. So guys, make sure that you hit the like, and we might hit that 30 likes today. But I want everyone in the comment section to write a just a 1. Just write a 1, and everyone that writes a 1 will be added to the duck race. Please only write 1 once. You don't have to do it a lot of times. If you do that, you're going to be timed out by the bot anyway. You only have to do, yeah, exactly. So you only have to do it once. Right, so just type a 1, and we will be doing that duck race shortly.
I actually don't know how duck race actually works. Is it something like, how do we know that the ducks are actually being true with us? Like how they run and...
So I think the duck race game it's open source, so you can go in and check the source code, and it's fairly simple. It's just picks. I think it's random. You know, I think it's just a. I mean, there's no fun in this, but I do think that before the race actually starts, the app has already decided who's going to be the winner, and then the graphics that we are seeing is simply just showing the winner in a more fun and graphical way. All right, guys, so everyone who is just joining, we are about to do a giveaway, and the giveaway will only be for everyone that types 1 in the chat. So if you haven't typed 1 in the chat already, go in and type 1. I'm going to give it a couple of more minutes, and then we will be adding all the names to everyone that has typed in 1 into the duck race, and we're going to do the giveaway. And we're going to do 2 of them because we have 20 likes, which means we have 2 winners today of a 10K 2-step account each. All right. I'm going to put a timer on for 2 minutes. And then we will do that giveaway. We're going to have Anastasiia joining us in any minutes as well. Pinky Aurora says you used many types of indicators as well. I do use some indicators. I when I started trading, I was all about just having naked charts, just doing only price action, just looking at price and doing candlestick analysis and horizontal levels. But I actually think using volume-based indicators like accumulation distribution or the OBV is highly underrated, because volume is something you can't see in price. And then the RSI indicator I actually really like as well, because what most people say that indicators are lagging, right? But and RSI is lagging, right? Because it gets printed after the candle close. But what's not lagging is divergences. So here, for example, on the RSI on a daily for XLM, you have a bearish divergence on the RSI, and you have higher highs on price, right? So the fact that you have higher highs on price and lower highs on RSI means that momentum is weakening. I'm not sure exactly how accurate this is because of that move to the downside. But what I'm saying here is this is actually a leading indicator, because the bearish and the bullish divergences always appear before price starts moving. And that's the idea of a leading indicator. Okay, guys, so let's get ready for that giveaway. I'm just going to take all the names here and add it to the duck race thing here. And very soon. Okay, this is your very last opportunity to get into the giveaway. Right, so we have 14 names in total that goes into this giveaway. Jimmy, you're already in. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll get to it. Yeah, I'm going to share the sound as well.
We have Roman as well. He wrote one.
Okay, we got Roman as well. Now we have to add Roman as well. Okay, we got to add Roman. As we have okay, we got one more guy here who just joined. Okay, that's going to be the absolute last one. All right, that's it. We're doing 1 minute. Let's go. I think we're ready. Okay, shuffle characters. What is this sound? Okay, can I do, like, we're gonna do a little bit slower, right? Okay, good. Yeah, okay. Okay, we got one more. Trader 007 NQ. We're gonna add that one as well. How do we go back? Can we go back? Yeah, we can add that one as well. You are lucky. I
think 24 watching right now. Let's make it 30.
Yeah.
We'll do 3 accounts.
Okay, so do we have more people coming in now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's give it 2 minutes extra. Let's give it 2 minutes extra. We got a lot of people coming in right now. Okay, guys, so write a 1 in the chat. Everyone that writes a 1 in the chat gets added to the giveaway. So all you have to do is just write a number 1 in the chat, and I will add you automatically to the giveaway. Nice. We got some people coming in here. Okay. This one as well.
And also don't forget to like the video. Your chances of winning the accounts will get higher if you do 3 accounts.
That's right. What's up, Anastasiia? Welcome.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
We're doing great. Good. How about you?
Good. I was wondering if you cannot hear me or you're just delaying with an answer to my question.
No, all good.
Good.
You have good internet connection
Yeah.
today.
Jonatan, you have a new background?
No, it's just I can do this. I got it's like a little curtain. Then behind the curtain I have then behind the curtain I got those soundproof panels. But I need my background lights just died, so I need to get new ones. Actually, I have new ones. I was gonna build it on stream, but then I figured out this is gonna be a very boring stream. Okay, that's it. We're adding some more names to be adding here.
We are getting the duck giveaway again?
Yeah. We're doing the duck giveaway, and then if we hit 30 likes, we're gonna do another one.
3 accounts.
Okay. The two so how many accounts are we gonna get now then? 22. Nice. Okay, let's do this. 1 minute. Okay, good luck. Initial Maverick is not in there, and I've got Miss K 911 as well. We need to add her. Okay, we need to add her. Shit, there's a lot of people in here. Okay, Miss K definitely going in. Who else?
You're at 24 likes. You need
Initial
6 more.
Maverick. Initial Maverick going in. Definitely. Go. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Do we have MemDNQ? Right. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got Memdex as well. Memdex needs to get in. Let's add him as well. Do we have another one here? If I can find someone who's not on the list. How many likes do we have now? Oh, we got Boris as well.
We have 24.
Nice. What's up, Boris? Welcome.
Likes.
Okay. Well, okay. This is it. We've got
You're mute,
25
I guess.
people. I'm gonna do it now. Okay, let's go. We're setting. We're starting. Let's go. Shuffle. Make sound not very high, and we're starting. But it's super high. All right, we got Glenn. Glenn looking good today, Glenn. Grandma Glenn looking good today. We got who else do we have? We got Strawberry Duck. We got Purple Duck, Strawberry Duck. This, whatever this duck is, Green Duck with stars. Glenn, you're a little bit slow. Initial Maverick, you're gonna win again. I thought you already would have an account. All right, guy, 20 seconds. 20 seconds. This is not looking good for you, Glenn. But that was kind of like obvious though. You started off very strong. Probably got burnt out there too high pulse in the beginning. When you do a race like this, you get like this guy right here. He's chilling from the beginning, and then it's just boom, Mr. Spider-Man here. With great freedom comes great responsibility. All right, Peter. Oh man, that's too loud. God damn it, Peter. Congratulations. You got an account. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna do sounds on this anymore. This is terrible. Terrible. Peter, where are you? Let me know in the comment section. We're gonna do another one. Peter. Are you not here? Okay, there you go. Okay, so go to your channel. You can copy your email. You need to have, Peter, you need to have your email in your YouTube profile. So add your email to YouTube. When you've done that, I will make sure that you get an account, okay? Do we have anyone Anyone new? Is there anyone in here that is not in the giveaway right now? Otherwise, we will add you. And you know what? I'm gonna stop sharing for a bit, and I'm gonna mute, because that is a that's a horrible sound. That's not the sound you want to hear when you've just won. No, rides something demon. You're in. You're already in the list. Yeah, you're in. Okay, we race again. Second account. Let's go. Oh, okay. You guys ready? Someone say yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. We go. Oh, exciting. Without the sound, this was great. All right. Future Yang, you're too quick again. This guy, it's going to be someone in the back here. It's going to be Glenn. We got Glenn again in the back. Glenn, and then we got this guy. I don't know what the mermaid, little mermaid coming here. All right, I think I got my money on the mermaid. Oh, we got Roman. Ah, Roman is a good position. Roman, number 17. keep your eyes on Roman here. All right, let's see. Oh, Roman, you're out. Mermaid. I told you guys, mermaid's on fire. Where's Glenn? I got. Okay, no. Look at Roman. Is that Roman? No, that's not Roman. Who's that? Ah, okay. Rage Engine Studio. All right. Pink Duck with hearts. You won. Congratulations. You won a 10K 10K two-step account. Now let's just write something in this chat so we know that you're here, so I can bring you up and see if you have your email. Let's see. Like if you're not in the chat, you're not gonna win. All right. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, so there we go. So now what I want you to do is I want you to add the email that you are that you registered with on Tradeify Crypto. If you can just add that email somewhere in the description of your YouTube channel or in the actual contact details, I will grab that and then we will open a 10K 2 steps evaluation account for you. All right, that's it. How many likes do we have though?
27.
27. Interesting. We might have another giveaway here. But guys, I gotta take a quick break, okay? So I'll be back in a bit, okay? And then we'll see if we got that 30 likes.
So we need 30 likes for the next giveaway.
Yeah.
Nice. How are you, Boris? You are muted.
You're muted.
Still muted.
Still muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Bitcoin's up. I'm very happy.
That's exactly why I was asking, because last week when we were asking if I'm bearish or bullish, you said you are always bearish, and now it's going up. I was sure you're gonna be very happy. So are you loaning it swing? So you have a swing loan open still from this last week, or is it a new one?
Yeah. So my average entry was around 78,400. So this for me is a clear breakout above this level, and I'm really targeting this area, 83,000, 84,000. I think we have a lot of room here to go up, and Bitcoin dominance is also going up. So I actually wrote an article about this. I don't know if it's on Tradeify Crypto. on the website, but this is really big because Bitcoin down broke above 60%. It's also breaking above 61%. So there's a lot of strength coming into Bitcoin in particular. I mean, some altcoins are doing well as well, but I think a lot of the strength is in Bitcoin right now. So really liking this move on Bitcoin. I'm targeting basically the $84,000 region, and then if we take a look on the weekly time frame and zoom out to, I'm basically targeting this supply zone from November, December, and this actually it's a bit sloppy the way I drew this, but this is targeting the supply zone and also the 55 EMA on the weekly. So I think this would be a good area to take profits and potentially take a reversal short, because this is going to be some heavy resistance, I feel, at this level. So that's what I'm thinking on Bitcoin right now. I'm still holding my long. I'll set my stops at break even, but really like that it's above 81,000, and I think we're going to go higher. And then looking at the crypto bubbles.
What is your main target basically? Because you're expecting it to go even higher. So how high are you aiming if it comes to Bitcoin?
I think there's plenty of room to go to this supply zone at 84 to 85K. So I'm basically targeting the 55 EMA, which is around 86K. We can probably front run it a bit at 85. So I'll probably fully close this position. Around 84, 85, I'll probably start scaling out. But for now, I took, 50% profits at 80,400, and I'm letting the rest of this trade ride till I see a reason to exit. So far, even looking at the 4-hour, very nice uptrend. All momentum oscillators are pointed up. So for now, I don't see any reason to exit my swing trade on Bitcoin. But I'm rambling on about my Bitcoin. What about you guys? What are you doing? You guys are probably trading the lower time frames, where there's a lot more volatility than on the daily time frame.
Are you trading Bitcoin?
I was on longs yesterday, and it went nice after this stream, and we were not really bearish after the candle we had, which was not a real news or fake, we don't know, but we stick to the technical analysis we had, and we tap again the weekly level. So I went longs after this candle 1:1 and filled me under just 15 minutes. It came out. It was just a 1:1 trade, and I'm still looking for longs, but we have supply zone and Ethereum. That's why I want Ethereum to go higher. So I think another long I can add, and expecting I have on, if you look at monthly time frame, I'm looking at some retracement, or maybe market getting slow at 82,369, and above that I'm expecting price at near 88,000, and from there we can, I think, continue the that downtrend. And if you look at
88,000 is your target.
I marked it on weekly 86,800 and 82,477. I'm looking at those two areas, but I explained it in the beginning that this structure in Ethereum looks really bad. I want this thing to come out, and we will have more volume coming in on Bitcoin as well. So still looking for some intraday trades, and I think on lower time frame we are doing really great on Bitcoin only, not on Ethereum. I'm cursing Ethereum from last many streams. I feel it will go away, and only when we broke above the range. And Anastasiia, I'd like to know your view on gold, because after a long time we'll discuss gold on stream.
So actually I was just in a long for gold and I just closed it. That's not my screen. We need to switch to my screen for this. 1 second.
It's my screen.
Yeah.
It's
yours.
Yeah.
So what I was waiting for gold basically last week is we reach one of those two zones. So we were talking about this short last week already when the price missed it slightly and then we came back up. Then I had this long here as well, which I don't remember if I took or not even. I can't recall it, but I think I didn't. And then I didn't trade gold for the rest of the week because I was quite busy with other things. Now, looking at gold at the moment, I pretty much had the same two scenarios. So either long from this zone, or if we break this zone and we close below 4,500 for PAX, then I would short it until the next zone here and then wait for the potential reversal. So it's coming higher from the same exact zone where we were already before. This is currently weekly point of control. So we are above all the volume. So this is weekly and this is daily. We have this zone here between the beginning of the week point of control and the daily point of control. So let me just delete some of the things here because they don't really matter anymore. And continue. Let's clean this here. Okay, so essentially, since we are rejecting the same exact zone and we are above the weekly volumes and the daily volumes, what I'm going to be waiting for is for the price to reach the previous volumes here and potentially reverse. Now, since I don't really analyze volumes on PAX, let's have a look at the gold futures, which are going to give us a little bit different perspective because it's the same zone. Exception is that PAX, as we can see, had exactly almost the same bottom. Gold had a lower bottom here, so we broke the previous volumes and the price was trying to go lower. We also have a different volume distribution, so we have a little bit higher volumes higher located than for PAX. So they're right here. This is the zone the current zones, which is interesting me. This is the May point of control, so the beginning of the new month, and this is the weekly point of control. At the moment, we are trying to close above it, but let's mention that the candle is not closed yet. We have 30 minutes passed only from this candle. We also did have some of the volumes here, as we can see right here. This is this line where the price is trying to pull back from at the moment. So I had my small long, so the scalp long open from the moment we broke this level and closed above towards this volume here. So I just closed my long. So it was a scalp long, like a very quick one, just during our live stream as well. At the moment, I'm waiting either for the rejection and the continuation down and then eventual continuation back up, or they can break through, retest, and then continuation higher towards this area here. This is the next volume area where we've been already before. This is the previous highs as well. And then towards 46.90 if we go all the way back there again. So at the moment, it's right at the volumes. I am expecting the price to mostly go higher. So my new scenario for gold at the moment would look like this. So there are several scenarios that I can be looking at. Let's again, I'm gonna delete some of the things here. Here we go. So this is the zone I would be expecting the short from. Potentially if the price goes there. So it would be like this eventually, or I would be expecting this here. Now that being said, either we break through retest and go up, or we come back lower, get the retest, and then go higher. So this is also something that it's going to be decision right now because we are pulling back from the previous volumes. If it does pull back like it's trying to do at the moment, where I'm expecting it to be is the following. So we look moving in quite a channel since those lows. So I would be expecting the price to go into this area here, again, into this volume area, maybe a little lower, and then continuation higher. So this is something I'm looking for gold. But right now I exited my long again, and I exited with very lucky, at 45.84 right here. before the price started to pull back. So it was quite a small scalp for today. So if you look at the volume distribution over this whole movement to the upside, what we will see is that this is the point of control of today. This is the value area low. So to specify the zone a little bit more precise is this area I'm waiting for the pullback and for the longs from here.
So I have a question, Anastasiia. Like, you can see the point of control and value at a high low on your chart, but it's trading you, right? So I think that we get ticks based volume and trading view instead of real orders. So how do you mark like right point of control on trading view? Because I'm not using volume profile on trading view because it has different levels with my broker.
Yeah, I don't rely on it. It's the same zone that I have in the other platform.
Oh, so you try to match them.
Yeah, let me just try to reconnect quickly to another platform to share my other screen. 1 second, should work now. Here we go. No, yeah. This is the platform that I'm using for the futures volume. We had volume coming in here, the price is pulling back. If I'm gonna have a look at the volume distribution over this whole move to the upside, it's gonna be exactly the same. So we'll look at this area, well, maybe not exactly, but pretty much very similar. 1 second, that's why I don't use it usually on the live streams, because it has a lag, because it's quite a lot of power that it takes. Here, this area. So it's the same exact area as on TradingView. So the beginning of the volume, and this is the same volume. So I first compare it and then I mark it up on TradingView, but I first rely on the volumes from the futures.
So do you use volume bubbles as well when you're trading? No?
You?
Yeah, I do use for NQ gold as well when I'm scalping on lower time frame.
No, I don't use volume bubbles. I use range XV charts. I use cumulative delta, but not volume bubbles. No.
Okay.
Here, when the cumulative delta reaches the previous high here, I'm gonna be looking for the sell also on gold. So maybe if you go a little bit higher somewhere, I'm gonna look for the pullback again. Again, for just a scalp.
Yeah. So Boris,
Ayush, man, Doge is pumping on the daily, continues to pump. Like we're up.
Yeah. Doge
like
is really doing great.
Is it outperforming Bitcoin?
Yeah, it always does.
Kind of following, yeah. Very interesting. Do you have a position on Doge?
Not instead of Doge, I traded on Bitcoin because yesterday after the stream, I think we got good volume in Bitcoin instead of Doge, so not really was in any position. But if we manage to maintain this daily candle on daily time frame, I think next like this few days in Doge gonna be really bullish till we reach 0.11741.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think of Ethereum? Because I mean, on the daily chart, Ethereum still hasn't broken its resistance. While Bitcoin is clearly broken its key level. Ethereum is looking to me very weak, like relatively speaking to Bitcoin. If you look at the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, again, it's like coming down. So Ethereum is losing value against Bitcoin. And that goes with my theory of Bitcoin dominance here going up, meaning Ethereum dominance is going down. So, this is not bullish for Ethereum. This is not really that bullish for altcoins either. When Bitcoin dominance skyrockets, this is usually a sign to be in Bitcoin. I mean, look at Solana versus Bitcoin. This is what is happening. It is It's breaking down into new lows. What's wrong with Solana? Look at this look at this, how awful this chart looks compared to Bitcoin. Like Solana, this is Solana. And if we look at Bitcoin, this is a much better chart. Like, why is anyone holding this beautiful? Look, I know it has a lot of use cases, but technically speaking, Solana is not looking quite good here.
If we look at what if we look at others, like the altcoin? If you look at others D plus BTC, then others B. I need to understand what. How do we create a synthetic chart with? Is it others B and then minus Bitcoin? Or is it plus? Yeah, I think
let's
this
ask
should
Claude.
be. Yes, let's ask Claude. We should do that. Okay. If I want to create a synthetic chart in TradingView, where I want to see others D plus Bitcoin in the same chart, do I use minus or plus? And what's the difference? Okay, let's see what Claude says here. I think minus is just putting one as the quote, and then if you put plus, you reverse the order. I believe. In Forex market, the second currency, that's the quote currency, right? And then the first one is the base currency. So on USD JPY, you got USD being the base currency, and then JPY being the quote currency. So the prices are shown in yen, I believe, or whatever that is.
Interesting.
Okay, so plus and minus gives you fundamentally different signals. Plus combines them into a single line. That's right. Okay, plus combines them into a single line showing how much of the total market the two control. So if you do others plus D, you're basically creating one line with both of the value. And a minus is a spread ratio chart showing relative strength. Are you sure about this, or are you just hallucinating? Because what I'm thinking is, okay, so that's right. Others D is dominance. It makes no sense to compare because others D is dominance. So what we need to do is we need to do others, just others minus. Okay, others minus BTC. And then that should create this should be an altcoin versus Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll look at 2017 if we put this on a log scale. Yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So this would be altcoin market